I say what ho, chaps and chappets, game chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, fellows, and I dare say we are discussing here a very interesting and quite big rumour here. My word, we've had our fair share of rumours recently, haven't we, old chap?
We have.
Now, indeed, in this particular rumour, though, we are talking about an entire Nintendo Direct being supposedly blown wide open days before it actually comes out.
We most certainly are. A Nintendo Direct leak.
That's what they say.
That's what it's about. That's what we're talking about here, chaps and chappets. A Nintendo Direct leak. Now, apparently, this rumour, leak or whatever, is regarding a Nintendo Direct which is supposed to be going live around 1500 hours in German time on April 1st.
I see, indeed. You see, fellows, in a recent post by someone claiming to be a German employee of Nintendo Europe, the entire schedule for the next Nintendo Direct, supposedly on the 1st of April, as he says, appears to have been leaked. Now, given the supposed date of the Direct, we are very sceptical of the legitimacy of this rumour. However, its contents are very convincing, and who knows, there might just be a grain of truth to them.
Well, most certainly, yes. I mean, April the 1st, obviously we've got our radars up on that one.
Exactly.
But nevertheless, the information is so concise and rather and extremely detailed that it would have taken an awfully long time for someone to sit down and just think about all this.
That's right, and just looking at the information, if you ask me, it does seem like exactly the kind of thing, almost to the letter, that Nintendo would do, and it's very hard to fake that if you ask me, old boy.
Well, most certainly it is. So we've got the information here that we're going to share with you, chaps and chapettes, that has actually been put out,
so,
and see what you think about it.
Who was the source, old chap?
The source? Well, the source was apparently, it was supposed to be an employee of Nintendo over in Germany.
That's right.
Apparently, now he sort of carries the tag, if you like, of Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Exactly.
What?
Yes,
Phoenix Wright, you'll say?
Yes.
Oh, well, I hope he's got some good evidence for us, old
But there
chap.
we are, that's where it comes from. It's supposed to be a Nintendo Direct employee, done the leak.
Right, I see. Now then, coming to the contents of the supposed leak, or the rumoured leak itself, we have Mr. Iwata firstly apologising for the Zelda delay on Wii U, and instead announcing a new title on Wii U, coming out apparently in winter 2015, which he says is Paper Mario, a working title. Apparently it's going to be showing a trailer of Paper Mario, and this new game supposedly would incorporate some of the best features of the first 4 games in the series, with more information coming at E3 this year.
Ah, interesting. So they're saying now we've got a Paper Mario. Now that's not hard to believe.
No,
it's not hard to believe that.
Not hard to believe.
Okay.
Apparently, intelligent systems are going to be in on the show.
Exactly. Now, another one which people would be interested in, no doubt,
yes,
is a Pokemon Rumble.
World.
Most certainly. Pokemon Rumble World will apparently be presented.
I see. Now, according to the supposed leak here, that's going to be released on April the 17th, 2015, on the eShop for Wii U and 3DS, and will also have Amiibo support for Pokemon from the Smash Brothers collection. Now, of course, we've had 2 quite large titles there, one of which apparently are launching next month.
Well, apparently. I mean, we don't know for sure. As they say, this is a leak at the moment.
Yes.
We'll have to see whether the Nintendo Direct does actually come off and it proves true. But nevertheless, they're saying that about Paper Mario. And also, as we've just reported there, Pokemon Rumble World there.
That's right.
Rumoured for release on April the 17th.
Now, apparently next they were talking about SNES titles, or Super Nintendo Entertainment System titles, being released on the 3DS eShop. And the Wii U eShop, meanwhile, apparently might get Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles, with also some cross-play available on those particular games. So, indeed, also apparently it seems those three groups of titles there from SNES, Game Boy and Game Boy Color might be released immediately following the presentation on the day.
Well, that's what they say. Now, also they're saying too that if you buy one of the games on the 3DS from the eShop, I presume, you can also play it on the Wii U. In other words, you don't have to go along and you buy 2 of them.
I see. Okay, so you've got some cross-buying going on there.
Yes.
Also, apparently they're going to unveil their new web eShop, which is part of that collaboration we reported on a short while ago with DNA, as you may know. Now, apparently you're going to have to log in with your Nintendo Network ID there and download various games from that web eShop. Now, I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work or what plans Nintendo might have for that for the mobile sector, etc. and so forth, but it certainly makes sense they might be looking to launch that sooner rather than later.
Well, yes, and that's an interesting point there, because parts of that involved with that is that if you're your console is just sitting there, as it were, in standby mode.
Right.
And you've already paid for the game and etc. It'll just download when it's ready.
Right, so you can go to your computer
Bit of automation.
to this web eShop, download a game, and then it'll download automatically to your console in standby. It's quite clever, isn't it, really?
Well, it is, yes. And
I see.
We're just moving on here quite quickly, chaps and chappers, because there's a lot of information.
There's a lot to get
here.
through, you'll know.
Oh, there's a lot of information that's come out here, and no doubt you'll be very interested to hear it, especially if it turns out to be not a rumour but actually fact.
Go ahead, old chap.
Yes, then the eShop once again, and regarding pre-orders. Apparently, you'll be able to buy your games, well, way in advance, even months in advance.
Really?
Yes, games that have been announced, etc., or sort of pre-order, I suppose. And then you'll even get a discount, apparently, for doing that.
Just a minute. That particular point there, that's not very believable, old chap. I don't think so, personally.
Really?
I think that one there... I'm taking that with a grain of salt, old chap. I don't think so. They say you're going to be able to buy games months in advance, apparently, and you'll get a nice little 10% discount as well, you'll see, for doing the pre-order.
Well, yes, you say that, but hang on, I can actually believe that in a way, because you've got a lot of actual businesses out there,
right.
Gaming outlets that sell games, etc., on the internet, etc., where you can actually buy the game, or pre-order the game, months in advance.
But isn't this a bit naughty, though? Because this is, after all, they're talking about a digital pre-order here, instead of a physical pre-order. Now, of course, the whole point of a physical pre-order usually is you get some kind of incentive or bonus or goodie for doing that. Whereas if you buy digitally, you're just pre-ordering bits and bytes.
Well, exactly, which is maybe why they've chipped in the 10% discount, because they don't actually have anything physical to offer you.
No.
So, maybe they're trying to match up with companies out there that are selling the physical hard copies in advance.
With pre-order bonuses,
Could
exactly.
be.
Now, apparently they're also going to be talking about showing a new gallery called Amiibo Gallery. Now, apparently you'll be able to use your Amiibos and show them in a gallery format, take photos of them, and upload your photos to Miiverse. And also there's apparently a sub-mode named Origins, whereby you can scan in the Amiibo, and then you have the chance to play a segment or a section of the game that particular Amiibo originally appeared in. Now, they say that might be a free download from the eShop in May of 2015, so quite interesting there, a small little sweetener, as it were.
Well, most certainly, yes indeed, rather interesting about the Amiibos there. And then just talking about the games, we were talking about those possible pre-order games. Apparently,
yes,
the first games that would be available there are, I think, Puzzles and Dragon, Codename Steam, Kirby, and the Rainbow Paintbrush, and possibly Splatoon, I believe.
Splatoon, so quite an important one there. They're saying you're going to perhaps be able to pre-order Splatoon. Now, also, fans of N64 games would be pleased, according to the rumour, to know that these games may be coming in June 2015 to the eShop on Wii U. Now, including such legendary games as Super Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Super Smash Bros., 1080 Snowboarding, and Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. Now, apparently, for those first two games, Mario 64 and Zelda Ocarina, if you buy one of those games, the other one you'll get for free up until a certain point.
So they're doing the old, buy one, get one free, as it were.
Yes.
The old thing, they're bringing that in again. Now, once again, if you're listening, just tuned in, or whatever it might be, do you tune into a YouTube channel?
I think you do, yes.
Suppose you do, don't you? But whatever. This is actually a leak here we're talking about.
Yes.
A rumoured leak from a Nintendo employee has leaked a Nintendo Direct that's supposed to be coming out on April the 1st. So that's what we're talking about here.
That's right. Now, apparently, these N64 games on Wii U eShop that I just spoke about are going to support, and this is where, again, I have a grain of salt on hand here, will support widescreen and upscaling to 720p, and also they'll support all kinds of controllers plus gameplay on the gamepad. Now, that's where I struggle to believe, old boy, Nintendo don't really do that kind of thing usually, so that particular one there, I'm not sure, but who knows, they could have it at the ready even now as we speak, old chap.
Well, once again, I would say on that, if they're going to release these games, in the N64 games and release them in this way,
yes.
Things have changed since then. They've got on a powerful console, the Wii U. Everyone's got upgraded tellies, etc., televisions. I can't see it being too, perhaps, impossible, as it were, for them to do.
Put it this
way,
way:
it's very possible.
If this was indeed a carefully constructed list by a forgery, or a forger in this case, then I'd say that the forging person has got a little bit over-eager there by saying they'll have upscaling, widescreen support, and off-TV play, as well as, of course, saying you'll get a 10% discount on those pre-orders. those 2 points are quite outlandish. But who knows, they could be true.
They're a bit iffy, yes, they're a bit iffy. Never mind, it will be all the time. We have, of course, the 1st of April in the back of our minds. We all know what that means. But nevertheless, the information is out there, and some sources are taking it as very serious.
That's right. Now, apparently at this point, Mr. Iwata is going to be saying sayonara and passing on to Mr. Shibata. I like Mr. Shibata, old boy. He asks us all the time to enjoy playing his games, and I think we do. It's true that we do. So now, apparently, the first announcement from him concerns the Mario Kart 8 second DLC pack. That particular one, of course, we've known about for a very long time, and it will be launching in May, according to this rumour, although I think we already knew that was launching in May, that particular DLC pack.
Possibly, yes. May the 7th, I believe.
Yes, with various extra tracks and karts, etc. and so forth. And also, the rumour goes on to say that at that time, there'll be a further software update for the game with various extra features like separate screens on local two-player matches, for example, one on the gamepad, one on the TV, new Amiibo outfits, and also time-lapse on TV. I'm not sure what that means, old boy.
That's rather big if we're talking about Mario Kart 8 DLC, a popular game. So that's rather interesting, and if indeed that is true, then that would be the 7th of April launch for that one.
Right, 7th of May.
I beg your pardon, 7th of May 2015.
And then what else?
Oh, well then we've got another one here, Puzzle and Dragons as well. Okay, and then apparently actual game releases, Puzzle and Dragons Z and Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition, apparently are going to be released around May the 8th, 2015.
I see, and apparently there's also going to be a demo at that time.
That's in Europe, by the way.
Here's another quite big announcement, which apparently Mr. Shibata will be saying, if this rumour is not mistaken. Yoshi's Woolly World will be coming out on June the 26th, it seems, in Europe. Now, apparently, you're going to be able to buy a limited edition of that game, I like those ones, old chap, containing a knitted Yoshi. Isn't that lovely, old chap?
A knitted Yoshi, just like Grandma used to make. Grandma, can you go and knit me a Yoshi, please?
Look, if they put a knitted Yoshi on the auction block, I would bid large sums of money for that, old chap. I need a knitted Yoshi.
Well, why don't you just ask Grandma to knit you one?
That's a very good idea.
Grandma, where are you?
She actually does knit.
Oh, wonderful, she's there.
She does knit.
Knit me a Yoshi, please, Grandma.
Did you hear this?
Yes, of course,
this is a superb idea. I'll ask her to knit a Yoshi, but I can't make any promises for her.
Okay, well, we got a bit distracted about it. Never mind. We got a bit excited. Sorry about that, chaps and chapettes.
That is a bit exciting.
A bit excited about the Yoshi Woolly World knitted Yoshi, but they will carry on now.
Coming out on the 26th in Europe, then, Fedels. Yoshi's Woolly World, the 26th of June. And don't you miss that knitted Yoshi, okay?
No. Well, apparently that's what they say. Once again, it could be just a rumour. I mean, perhaps it's coming out, but not with the knitted Yoshi. We don't know. But
we don't know. Now, also the title, As Your Striker Gunvolt, will be releasing, it seems now, in the early part of April. That particular title is a 3DS one, and it involves shooting things, I think, old chap, in an anime sort of format.
Ah, right, okay, so an anime sort of shooter. Very interesting. Now, apparently the Nintendo Anime Channel, can you believe such a thing?
Right.
Nintendo Anime Channel
yes.
is supposed to be being launched on Wii U around April the 9th.
Now, of course, the Nintendo Anime Channel is believable because we've seen that before on the 3DS. And apparently, according to this So-Say leak, it's coming to the Wii U in the early part of April on the 9th there.
Well, there we are. That's what they say. Once again, this is what the rumour says. This is what the leak is purporting to actually say is a fact.
And I'm just going to quickly skip ahead through a few here for nails. We've got names like Project 05 being localised. We have the retail boxed version of the NES Remix Pack on June the 5th. We have Boy Boy on the April the 8th, apparently, in the eShop on 3DS. And also, apparently, the notorious and quite nefarious Collectible Badge Center will be available in the early part of April, directly following the presentation, according to the leak. Now, if you have a Japanese 3DS like we do, you will know the many perils and dangers of the Pink Bunny, and if you don't, you're about to find them out in the early part of April. If this rumour is believed to be true, be careful, he wants your money.
We've got to show, I've just realised we have to show all our chaps and chapettes, followers, etc. We have to show them the Pink Bunny. We show the Pink Bunny every day, don't we?
Yes, of course
we have great fun with the Pink Bunny.
It's a marvellous game, fellas, and we will show you gameplay of that in the English and European version when it comes out.
We will, yes. We'll try to do that for you.
Very good fun. Unfortunately, though, it's a bit addictive, I'm afraid.
It's a little bit addictive, yes.
But there we are.
Never mind.
Just quickly moving ahead here on the Wii U, apparently there's going to be Wii titles in the form of Pandora's Tower, Sin and Punishment, Successor of the Skies, and The Legend of Zelda Zelda Skyward Sword released at various points throughout this quarter.
So this is Wii U, beg your pardon.
Wii remakes on the Wii U
Remakes
eShop.
of The Legend of Zelda on the 14th of May, there we are.
So, do we have any sort of fresh games coming out, it seems, according to this leak, old chap?
Well, apparently it would seem so according to this rumour, or leak, yes indeed. Lego Jurassic World is apparently going to release on June the 11th on the Wii U.
Right.
And the Nintendo 3DS also, I think there's a trailer for that too.
Okay. Also, Final Fantasy Explorers is going to be available at the end of the year in this region, Europe. Now, I did play Final Fantasy Explorers on the 3DS, and to be honest, I wasn't too impressed by it. There's no 3D, it's like it's trying to be Monster Hunter, the graphics aren't all that, but then again, some of you Final Fantasy fans out there might play it and say, well, this is absolutely great, so who knows? You'll have to wait and see what you think of that one.
Well, yes. Then we have Splatoon there with support for the old Amiibos.
Ah, right,
Yes.
okay.
Apparently, the special Splatoon Amiibos.
Special Splatoon Amiibos.
Special Splatoon. Say that quickly, yes.
Right.
Where you can apparently save your Inkling, I suppose, and take it to your friends, etc. So forth.
I see.
A bit, so perhaps you can put the information or your Inkling's character, whatever it's doing, and download that to your Amiibo and take it across to your friend and
I think
with
so.
them.
That's quite likely. Now, apparently, the big nugget of information here is, of course, a confirmation of an earlier rumour that apparently the game will release on the 29th of May in Europe.
Oh, yes, that's the confirmation of an earlier rumour. Yes, we know about that one. 29th of May, there we are. Splatoon in Europe, apparently.
Quite a big one there, Fidelis. And also big exciting news for you figure fans out there, such as myself, I say. The next wave of Amiibos is apparently going to be available on the 2nd of June. No, the 12th of June, in fact, 2015, featuring such big hitters as Ganondorf, Jigglypuff, Palutena, Zero Suit Samus, Falco, and Duck Hunt Duo.
And that's what they say. I don't know how many people really like Amiibos.
I do.
They're great. I mean, we've got them plastered all over the office for some reason. I don't know why.
For some reason, no.
But there we are.
Did you know, I tried to get the wave that had Lucina and Robin in it, and I couldn't get one of them. I'm crying tears over here.
Okay, well, not now.
But
anyway,
I need my handkerchief.
Well, there's now the Ganondorf Amiibo apparently you'll be able to use that with Hyrule Warriors as well.
Ah, right, okay.
Which apparently will unlock a new weapon.
I see. Apparently, indeed, if you plonk your Ganondorf Amiibo onto your Wii U gamepad, you'll get a secret new weapon for him in Hyrule Warriors, and we don't yet know what that weapon's going to be. It's a mystery. Coming out apparently on June the 12th.
June 12th, that is, yes. And then we've got something releasing in Europe, apparently April the 24th. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
No, but it's like this. Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
Oh, I didn't realise. I'll just correct that. Excuse me, please. That's Rusty's Real Deal Baseball there. That's coming out there.
No, but
24th.
Not baseball. It's baseball.
Oh, baseball. That's Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, released in April 24th in Europe.
Well, yeehaw, partner, and also apparently...
Yeehaw!
Thank you, buddy. Also, a title that has been very, very big indeed in Japan, called Yokai Watch or Ghost Watch. Now, that particular game has sold millions of copies out there in Japan, and it's going to be localized and will feature a release in Europe later this year. So we'll have to wait and see whether the Pokemon-type madness catches on over here.
Most certainly. Now, then, apparently, Mr. Shibata says goodbye and lets Mr. Iwata come back then afterwards.
Oh, right.
Well, there we are. But also, now, important one here, Star Fox Horizon.
Right, so Mr. Iwata comes back and brings out a very big gun indeed there and tells us the name, apparently, according to this rumour, of the next Star Fox game on Wii U and confirms it to be Star Fox Horizon. Now, I want you to just buckle your seatbelts out there, Fidelis, because this next bit is also very juicy. Apparently, it's going to be developed by Nintendo EAD with... Wait for it.
Yes.
Platinum Games. Okay. Now, for goodness sake, Fidelis, I will say this, do not take to social media and go assaulting the poor chaps that work at Platinum Games, demanding to know if this is true. That wouldn't be right. And besides, the chap on Twitter that works for Platinum Games has been known to be a bit, shall we say, unwelcoming towards continued tweets over and over again. So that's inadvisable. We would instead advise waiting to see whether there's any truth to these rumours or not.
Most certainly, yes. Let's see how this comes out on the 1st of April. But certainly, this is very interesting. Actual name being given there, Star Fox Horizon.
Now, if indeed...
apparently there'll be a trailer too.
Yes, that's right. If indeed Platinum Games are working on Star Fox Horizon, then you can say I am very excited indeed. But we'll have to wait and see, old chap, because that could be good, you know.
Well, most certainly. Once again, if this was a leak, I mean, if it was this rumour was all a trick, just an April Fool's thing or whatever, then they would have done their research very well, especially relating those two things together, Platinum Games and Star Fox.
That's right, of course. It's quite an unlikely thing for someone to just say, I've got an idea, let's say Platinum Games are working on it with Nintendo. Yes, I'll write that down in the rumour. But then again, other points of the rumour have been questionable, as we said earlier.
Yes.
And it's very easy to get carried away in the excitement and forget, of course, that all this is just in the hypothetical stage at the moment.
Most certainly, but nevertheless we're reporting to you what has actually been said.
That's right. This is, of course, what's been said. Now, one last announcement from Mr. Sakurai, apparently, old chap.
Yes, Mrs. Sakurai, I think. Oh, yes, they mentioned. Devil's Third was mentioned. That was supposed to be released in August 2015. Apparently, once again, new trailer going to be shown for that.
I see. Okay.
And then we've got an announcement there about Mewtwo DLC for Smash.
Okay, I see. Apparently, there's going to be a trailer for Mewtwo, and as we already knew, there will be various download codes available for Mewtwo. However, if you haven't already bagged both copies of the game and registered them up with Club Nintendo, you may have to wait until you can buy the DLC in June.
Oh, so what's happened? Something to do with April the 9th, I think.
That's right. Of course, you see, if you've bought both games already and registered, I should say, those games with Club Nintendo, you may be receiving a code for Mewtwo on the 9th, according to this rumour. But if you haven't bought both copies of the game, you'll have to wait until June.
Apparently. Now, that's according to the rumour. Once again, we're making this very, very clear that this is a report we're doing on a rumour of a leak that's come from a Nintendo employee, beg your pardon.
That's right.
About a Nintendo Direct on April the 1st.
And apparently also on the day in June, when Mewtwo comes out fully, there will be a software update for Super Smash Bros., which adds in the long-awaited Miiverse stage, some kind of system to share things, and also tournaments, together with new trophies, new music, and new stage builder elements. So
very interesting.
This is very exciting news for Super Smash Bros., and I dare say for the whole Nintendo scene, if indeed this is true.
Most certainly.
So
a huge
haul of
barrel load of information there.
There you have it, fellows.
It's been leaked. That we don't know whether it's exactly correct or something, but at least we're letting you know what the news is.
What do you make of all that news, fellows? Do you think it's true news? Do you think it's all completely false and fabricated? Do you think it has a grain of truth, or do you think it's all one big April Fool's Day joke?
Yes, indeed. And which elements do you rather like? I mean, certainly, if it was not true, it's been put together very, very well. But nevertheless, we will see how this pans out, what comes of this, and how it goes.
Indeed, I say. Thank you most kindly for joining them, fellows. This has indeed been Game Chairman Buddy, bringing you the latest Nintendo news, and in this case, rumours. Do join us once more on the next exciting outing, I say.
Oh, yes.
Look forward to seeing you then. Until then.